Hello everyone and welcome to the screencast. This one's on ratio, it's on sharing, it's on the basics, and we're just going to get you in to the very basics of ratio. So as I've just said, it is all about sharing. We often have things that we are going to talk about: food we're going to share out, or money that we're going to share out. And those are the two things that when we have our sort of exam questions that they use. So bear those in mind. And it's just imagine yourself that you and a group of friends are going to share out something, and you're going to share it out in a certain ratio or a certain amount. And it's probably not going to seem fair, and that's the other thing. So ratios are statements that compare two or more values. They are shown as two numbers separated by a colon, such as 1:2, 1:2. So we're looking at the sharing out of money most of the time, but today we are going to talk about food because it's close to my heart as food. So why do we want to use ratios to share things out? So if we've got some money, it may not seem fair, but sometimes people deserve to get less than others. Maybe that's because of their experience, because of what they bring to the kind of party. Maybe it's their age. Maybe it's something along those lines, but we can see here in this example, Bill, for every 50p that Bill gets, Bob gets £1.50. And that might make Bill a bit sad, and it might make Bob very, very happy, but sometimes it's fair to do that, okay? So just think about that as we go along. Our first example here, and it's very, very simple. It's a very simple process to go through, but it is a process that you need to remember and you need to practice a lot of, and then it will stick with you. Mr. Warren has 12 donuts to be shared out between Jack and Jessica in a ratio of 1:3 or 1:3. A couple of things just to mention here is we can see here in the question that Jack's mentioned first and Jessica's mentioned second. So the 1 represents Jack and the 3 represents Jessica. So whoever's written first, the first number will apply to them. Whoever's written second, the second number will apply to them. How many donuts will Jack and Jessica each get? So there's 12 donuts to share out. For every 1 donut Jack gets, Jessica gets 3. So let's have a look at that now. For every 1 donut Jack gets, Jessica gets 3. Now you might say that's, unfair, but on this occasion my son doesn't really like donuts, but my daughter loves donuts, so that's why she would get 3-1. Jack, they'll all just go off because Jack won't eat them all. That's the type of thing that we could use when we're sharing things out. So the key here is that we can see that we've got our ratio, and we've got for every 1 Jack gets, Jessica gets 3. So how we work these out is very, very simple. We have to add the two ratios together. That'll give us the total amount of parts. And I'm going to talk about parts and whatnot, but it gets at our total. So we've got 1 plus 3, and that gives us 4. So for every 1 donut Jack gets, Jessica's going to get 3. So in theory, we've got 4 parts there. Now what we do here is, once we've worked out that, we take our total that we're going to share. All right, so the total we're going to share, which is 12, and we're going to divide 12 by 4. And what that is going to do is that's going to give us our 1 part value. So it's going to give us what 1 is worth. So we're going to take 12 and we're going to divide it by 4. Now it's really important that you're doing this along with me. So what I'd like you to do is, if you haven't already, pause the video, work out what 12 divided by 4 is. Hopefully you can do that really quickly. Come back and see if you've got it right. Okay, so how many times does 4 go into 12? Well, it goes in 3 times. And what that tells us is that 1 part is worth, or the number 1 in this occasion will be worth 3. So what we can do there is we can say, okay, for every 1, for every 1, that will equal 3. For every 3, that will equal 9, because 3 times 3. So 1 times 3 gives us 3. that's Jack's part, and 3 times 3 will give us 9, that's Jessica. And that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I had 12 donuts to share. And look, Jack gets 3 donuts and Jessica gets 9 donuts. And there's 12 donuts between them. So we know that we are correct. And that is absolutely key. We're going to go through this process quite a few times. So first step is to add our 2 ratios together. That gives us 4. Second step is to take our total amount that we've got, which is 12, divide it by 4, which gives us 3. 3 represents the value of 1. 1 times 3 gives us 3. 3 times 3 gives us 9 because we've got 3 lots of 1. 1's worth 3, so 3 times 3 is 9. All right, everyone. So Jack gets 3, Jessica gets 9. Happy days. They're both very, very happy. But this time we've got 20 donuts. 20 donuts. And this time we've got a ratio of 2 to 3. So for every 2 donuts Jack gets, Jessica gets 3. He likes more donuts now. Let's just look at it that way. So first step, and this is the last one I'm going to do with you, and then you're going to do the rest on your own. We add our 2 and our 3 together, and that will give us 5. Okay, so we've got 5 parts in total. Remember, we want to find out what 1 part is. Okay, or what the value of 1 is worth. We're going to take our 20 now, and we're going to divide 20 by our total parts, which is 5. So pause the video now, work out what 20 divided by 5 is, and then try and work out how many donuts Jack's going to get, how many donuts Jessica's going to get, remembering that there should be 20 donuts between them. So 20 divided by 5. Come back and see if you've got it right. All right, 20 divided by 5 we should know is 4. So the value of 1 is worth 4. So how many does Jack have? Jack has 2, so it's going to be 2 times 4. How many does Jessica have? 3 times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. If we add those 2 numbers together, we get 20. So remember, first step, add your ratios together. Gives me 5. Second step, take your total amount of donuts, divide by your total amount of parts. That gives us the value of 1. Jack's got 2, so it's 2 times 4. Jessica's got 3, 3 times 4. And that's how we do it. So now it's really important that you do these next 2 questions on your own, please. So on this one, we're sharing £150 in the following ratios, 1 to 2. So first step is to add the ratios together, isn't it? Add the ratios together. 1 plus 2 gives us 3. We're going to take 150 and we're going to divide it by 3. That gives us 50. So 1, the value of 1 is worth 50. So it's going to be 1 times 50 gives us 50, and 2 times 50 gives us 100. So one person's going to get £50, the other person's going to get £100. On the second one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our numbers together. So we've got 5, take 150, divide it by 5, that gives us 30. 3 times 30 gives us 90. 2 times 30 gives us 60. We can see there on both occasions we're going to add up to 150 there. All right, last ones before we move into the quiz questions. This is not difficult. Don't worry, there's 3 ratios here. There's 2 parts to 4 parts to 9 parts. Exactly the same process. Add them all together for a start and then go from there. You might need to obviously come back and see if you've a little bit of help on that one, but trust me, add them all up together and then go through exactly the same process as you did for all of the others. So here we go. We've got 150. We're sharing it in a ratio of 1 to 4. So we add together, we get 5. We take our 150, we divide by 5, we get 30, and we go through that process. 1 times 30 is 30, and 4 times 30 is 120. On this next one, we add them all together. So we've got 2 plus 4 plus 9, that gives us 15. We take 150, divide it by 15, gives us 10. So 2 times 10 gives us 20. 4 times 10 gives us 40, and 9 times 10 gives us 90. We add all those up together, we still get 150, so we know we are correct. It is now time for the quiz. Quite a long quiz here, so take your time. Go through it, but go through exactly the same process each time. Split those amounts of money in those ratios and make sure that you write your answer in full, please. Pause the video, come back and see if you've got them all correct. Okie dokie everyone, here we go. That is the question. Here are the answers. So you can see what I've done. I've added the ratios together. I've divided my total by the ratios and then I've times them through. And hopefully you have got the same amounts that I do. If you haven't, it's really key you go back and start again. It is a little bit, no, it's not confusing. I wouldn't say this is confusing, but I would say it does take a little bit of time. But this is really important. Make sure you've nailed this screencast before moving on to the others. Fingers crossed you've done incredibly well. I know that you have. As always, those revision cards are so important to your future success. So either write your own or get in contact with me via the comment section below and I can send you an electronic version of these. But until next time, it's always a pleasure helping you with your maths.